Hi, Ray Moran here today to discuss the Valuation 20 this October in New Delhi, India. And we're thrilled that to discuss the V20, we have Sandeep Kumar, a member of the International Valuation Standards Council Tangible Asset Board, and a key member of the technical committee helping organize the V20 event. We're thrilled that you're here with us today to talk about this. Can you give us a bit of discussion about the background of the V20 and how it relates to the annual G20 finance meetings?
Thank you, Ray. Thanks a lot. Well, for the last few years, G20 is going to happen, changing in different countries. And this time, India is holding the presidency. So here we thought, why don't we start a movement, an engagement group under the G20? And why don't we start a Valuation 20? G20 countries, they contribute more than 80% in the global economy. Therefore, valuation is a very important subject. I believe in future, the G20 nations will accept. And that is why we joined hands with IIBV, who are the global standard setters, to start this movement from the soil of India. And that's the background.
It's an amazing objective that is put in place here. Can you give us a bit more discussion about the goals and objectives of the V20 event?
See, as a professional valuer, we have faced a lot of problems. Sometimes these problems, although occur in an individual country, but if we see globally, we'll find the same kind of problems are occurring at least 10, 20, even 30 different countries. But we do not know that these problems are really occurring in other countries. But when we put up these problems in V20 floor, we could come to a proper solution. The solution may have already obtained by a third country. Now from V20, we can spread it out to all the participating countries that this is the solution. For an example, I'm giving you the problem of valuation of unregistered lands, which is a tremendous problem in almost all the countries globally, whether it is a developed one, developing one, or an underdeveloped one. But sometimes you see that some countries have solved it. So we want to spread the solution to everyone. The lack of data is also a big problem to the valuers. And if we can put the V20 as an engagement group, then it would become a problem to the global leaders. The head of different countries could think in the same line and can assist, can help the valuers to come to a solution. This is the goal of a V20 movement.
Those are amazing goals and objectives, really quite exciting. I know the V20 event is organized between the V20 Summit and the V20 Conference. Can you explain the difference between the two, which will run concurrently?
Well, in Summit, we would like to have the head of the institutions who are working in 20 different countries in the world. And we are also inviting the countries who are right now may not be inside the G20, but we are inviting these nations because they are advancing very fast in valuations. The heads of these institutions will meet in the summit to discuss the future of valuation in G20 countries. And vis-a-vis will be having a conference concurrently running on discussing on the advancement, on the problems and the solutions on different fields of valuation. The conference will be attended by the general valuers, professionals, and the professionals related to valuation from all corners of the globe, wherein in summit, the head of the institutions will attend the summit. And finally, at the valedictory session of the conference and the summit, the leaders of V20 will finally declare a V20 declaration to give a path to the next V20 summit. That's the way summit and conference will go hand to hand, side by side.
Very impressive. Which types of organizations are invited to participate? Is it valuation organizations, regulators, both?
Well, as an organizer, this time we are very open. We are very open. We are inviting all the different organizations who does work in all the G20 countries on different fields of valuations, means land and building, plant and machinery, financial assets, business valuation, as well as the specialized valuation fields, means your farm valuation, valuation of aircraft, valuation of gems and jewelry. Even we are interested to invite the valuation of life interest, means the actuaries we also wanted to be there in the field, and all the statutory organizations as well as the NGO as well as the valuation institution who are working globally, all are welcome to this V20.
I understand. I know the annual G20 finance meetings rotate through each of the member countries. Is the hope that the V20 would rotate also to next year's G20 event in Brazil and the year after to South Africa?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Because we want that this global movement will start rolling from India, New Delhi. And when the G20 presidency will go from India to Brazil, the V20 will also go from India to Brazil and so on. In 2025, it will go to South Africa. And that's why we have already inducted the head of the Brazilian valuation institutions in the committee and representative from South African valuation in the committee, so that they are well accustomed, well known what is going to be there in V20 and what they will do in 2024 followed by 2025. So it's just a rolling of the notion and handing over the torch one country to another, 1 year after another year, the same way.
It sounds like an amazing event which can have wonderful results for the valuation community worldwide in our profession going forward. And thank you so much for being the first of what we hope is going to be weekly videos explaining the V20. Any final thoughts for the audience before we finish up, Sandeep?
Join us, give hands to us, and let's make the most glamorous show of valuation in the world. Every year, everybody will wait when the V20 will happen. Let's start from India, and a generous and a gala success of the program. We need participation of everybody from all corners of the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. What a wonderful explanation to start the V20 process and help people be aware of it. And indeed, we do hope everyone will join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.